My name's Carne. I'm an artist and illustrator, stroke lots of other different hats. Most known sort of painting in teas, inks and alcohols, mainly sort of portraiture work, but most things related to nature. I've always drawn since I was about, since I can remember, 4 or 5 years old, really passionate about drawing, really liked figurative drawing. I suppose my art is a kind of an extension of me. It's a natural, free flow sort of outpouring. It's all the questions that I would ask about life in general. It's all the things that I am inquisitive about, that I want to find out more about. Maybe a meditation on those subjects, and that's what's happening while I'm creating. And whether the subject of the work is related to that or not, that's part of the process, that's intrinsic to everything that goes on. So it allows me to kind of float away. And the writing that I use, they're not letters or words that you can read back. It's just mark making, but it allows that free flow of ideas to be recorded, not in a literal sense, but to be put down on the page. My creative process it's a blend between sort of chaos and order. It's trying to find some kind of balance in the whole drawing process. I love things that happen by accident and by chance, and the beginning of a work for me is always focused on that kind of freedom. There's no image making in that beginning part of the process. It's like, let's make these materials do what they do best. Let's let them explore the page. Let's see what happens. And then let's try to make some sense out of that. There's no aiming point. It's about the whole process. You know? That moment when you are painting and you're allowing yourself to be influenced by everything around you. My biggest inspiration, I think, is the natural world. The thread that runs through all of my work is our connection to the natural world. I'm constantly pondering the things that the digital age, the things that are separating us from our connection with nature. That's constantly in the back of my mind, and each painting and each project will move in a different direction, but that's the underlying theme. I think probably now for me has been one of the most difficult times, and it's about momentum and kind of pushing forward, and about changing the work and keeping things progressing and developing and finding a way to continue that message. Because when you're creating 24/7 and my work is quite introvert, then you're losing a little bit of that outside influence. And I think then that is a time where I need to think about experience, about going out and doing something aside from the painting, to absorb those experiences and those influences and those things that will then spark a new series of work. The thing that makes you unique as an artist is the combination of all the things that you're passionate about. And I think if you can find a way to include all of those passions in your practice and what you do, then that's going to be extra unique to you, because no one else is going to have all those same key skills and key passions and things like that. So I first met Creative Debuts, I think, in about 2017. We worked on a project together, Faces in the Community. I think what Creative Debuts are really good at is recognising key strengths of artists, but also pushing the boundaries of what artists can do for projects as well. Like, they'll see maybe a skill or something that you've done that you haven't really thought of exploring, and they'll say, oh, okay, well, we use that in a workshop, or we use that in an environment where you can either be bringing it to other people, or you can be sharing that, or you can. It's that kind of integration, and I think every project that I've worked on with Creative Debuts has really exploited that, that sort of that sense of community, that sense of bringing artists together. It's almost like I don't have something that I want to attain. I'm at a place where I'm creating, and I'm kind of happy in that sort of like creative state. I mean, my aim is to see where my work goes. My aim isn't to try and place my work in a particular place. It's to kind of see it evolve and see it develop as a reaction to what I'm doing along the line. And that's not through lack of ambition. That's not through, I don't want it to sort of end up in a museum or something like that. But those things are less important to me. More important to me is just the intrigue surrounding where it will develop and where it will go and what will happen in maybe 2 weeks and 2 years' time. But there's definitely no end point. There's no kind of like moment when everything will be falling into place. It's about the journey, being an artist and responding to things around you.